My presentation is about the structure and function of the human digestive system. The human alimentary canal, also known as the gastrointestinal tract. It is a wide tube that extends from the mouth to the anus, approximately 9 meters in length, and is divided into sections. The mouth. The mouth is the beginning of the alimentary canal where food is ingested and chewed into smaller particles with the aid of the tongue and teeth. The tongue serves as a mixing tool to help roll food with the aid of the saliva. The saliva produces an enzyme, amylase, which breaks down starch, specifically maltose and dextrins. The nasal cavity does not directly involve in digestion but enhances appetite, which stimulates saliva secretion. The uvula prevents food from entering the oral cavity, and jaws allow for the opening and closing motion of the mouth necessary for chewing. The pharynx. The pharynx is a muscular tube connecting the nasal cavity and the mouth to the esophagus and larynx, serving as a passageway for both food and air. It plays a key role in swallowing by pushing food into the esophagus and preventing aspiration through the action of the epiglottis. The esophagus is a narrow tube of about 10 inches long, which serves as a carrier pathway for food from the mouth to the stomach by contraction and relaxation movement known as peristalsis. It has a sphincter at the lower end which prevents food from flowing back into the mouth. The stomach. The stomach is an organ that receives food from the mouth through the esophagus. It is sac-like and about 6 inches long. It secretes digestive enzymes such as pepsin and lactase to break down food substances. The stomach is embedded with a mucous cell lining which secretes mucus to protect the stomach from acid damage. Histology of the stomach. The histology of the stomach is divided into 4 sections. Mucosae, which is a core area with inner lining composed of smaller columnar epithelium with gastric pits which secretes gastric juice to digest food. The submucosae. The submucosa is a layer that consists of loose connective tissue, blood vessels, and nerves, providing support to the mucosae, and contains submucosal plexus, which regulates digestive activity. Muscularis. Muscularis is composed of 3 layers of soft muscles: the outer longitudinal layer, the middle cellular layer, inner oblique layer, which aids in chewing and mixing of food, as well as in the peristalsis. Serose. Serose is the outer layer, which is a protective membrane made of connective tissue, also known as visceral peritoneum. The small intestine. The small intestine is about 6.5 meters long. The small intestine is a 3-division tube primarily responsible for nutrient absorption with the aid of its finger-like projection called the villi, which increases the surface area for absorption. The first part is the duodenum. It receives partial digested food from the stomach, mixes it with bile from emulsification and further digestion. It absorbs minerals and vitamins and also produces hormones which regulate bile release. Like the duodenum is the second section of the small intestine. Absorb minerals and vitamins. The last part, which is the ileum, absorbs nutrients, especially vitamin B12 and bile acid. It has lymph tissue which helps monitor intestinal bacteria, thereby maintain gut health. After absorption is done, the ileum, which is the last part, transports undigested food to the large intestine for subsequent processes. The histology of the small intestine. Duodenum. Mucosa is the innermost layer, spaced with villi, which creates larger surface area for absorption to occur. The submucosa. This layer is thick and contains connective tissue, blood vessels, and nerves, which support the mucosa and aid in digestion. The muscularis mucosa, composed of 2 layers of soft muscles, the inner cellular and the outer longitudinal, that help in peristalsis and mixing of charming. The ileum. The ileum mucosa, lined with villi, submucosa, contains connective tissue and lymph nodules. It supports the mucosa and contains blood vessels and nerves. Muscularis. Muscularis has 2 layers of soft, smooth muscles to assist in peristalsis. The serosa, the outer layer that provides protection and reduces friction with other abdominal organs. The villi. The villi are small finger-like projection that extends from the lining of the small intestine. Each villus is made up of an outer layer of epithelial cells and contains a core of connective tissue, blood vessels, and lymphatic vessels. The villi increases the surface area of the intestinal lining, enhancing the absorption of nutrients, water, and electrolytes. The epithelial cells on the villi contains microvilli, which further increases surface area and contain enzymes that aid in final digestion of nutrients. The blood vessels within the villi absorb nutrients and transport them to the bloodstream, with lateral while laterals absorb fat and fat-soluble vitamins. The large intestine. The large intestine is a wider tube as compared to the small intestine. It has an approximate length of 1.5 meters. It absorbs water and electrolytes from the remaining undigested food. After the absorption, the remains are stored in its pouch-like structure called colon, where it is removed as waste through the anus. The liver. The liver is a wedge-like shaped organ located in the upper right side of the abdomen, just above the stomach. It plays a crucial role in digestion and metabolism by producing bile and storing it in the gallbladder, which is then released into the small intestine for the primary purpose of emulsifying fat. It is also responsible for removing toxins and waste products from the bloodstream. These waste and toxins are excreted into the bile or urine. The liver is also an organ responsible for protein synthesis, other bodily functions such as blood clotting. The pancreas. The pancreas is located behind the stomach. The pancreas produces enzyme for digestive action. It also produces insulin, which is responsible for regulating blood sugar. The gallbladder. The gallbladder is located under the liver, stores bile produced by the liver, and later releases it into the small intestine to help in fat digestion. Typically known as the emulsification of fat, just like the esophagus, the gallbladder also has a splinter at its lower end, which regulates the release of bile into the small intestine. Mechanical function. On the mechanical function, organs like the mouth break down food through mastification with the aid of the teeth and tongue. The esophagus also, by means of contraction and relaxation, ensures a smooth passage of food from the mouth to the stomach. Chemical function. The liver produces bile for emulsification of fat. The stomach and small intestine also produces enzyme for digestion, which are all chemical functions. The production of hormones by the pancreas and the storage and releasing of bile by the gallbladder are all chemical functions. Examples of chemical functions include the breakdown of starch to sugar, protein to amino acid, and fat to fatty acid or glycerol. The absorptive function. On the absorptive function, the small intestine absorbs nutrients. The large intestine absorbs water and electrolytes from waste. Requirement for balanced diet. Carbohydrates produce energy, the main source of energy production in the body. It can be found in grains such as rice, wheat, oats, etc. Also in fruits, legumes, and dairy products. Protein. Protein builds body and repair tissues. Sources of protein include meat, fish, egg, legumes, and dairy products. Fat. Fat produces energy and aids in absorption of certain vitamins. It is found in food like oil, nuts, fatty fish, and seeds. Vitamins. Vitamins are essential for various body functions such as immune function. It is found in fruits, whole grains, and vegetables. Minerals. Minerals required for various bodily processes such as contraction of muscles. It is found in fruits, vegetables, and lean meat. Fiber. Fiber aids in digestion and prevents constipation. It is found in fruits and vegetables. Water. Water is essential for hydration and digestion. Water can be found in fruits, vegetables, normal water, and sparkling water. The dietary imbalance. Dietary imbalance is an occurrence in which the body does not receive the necessary nutrients required for optimal health or functioning, or lack of appropriate balance leading to deficiencies. Dietary imbalance can be caused by conditions such as poor diet, inadequate food intake, generic disorders such as phenylmonia and maple syrup urine disease. Mechanical function. Mechanical function consequences of dietary imbalance: malnutrition, deficiency disease such as scurvy, rickets, and beriberi, chronic disease such as type 2 diabetic, skin problems such as acne, eczema, etc., hair loss, depression, and anxiety. Thank you.